You got rear-ended in traffic, and now you're dealing with doctor visits, missed work, and bills piling up that aren't even your fault. You know the other driver's insurance should pay, but every time you ask about compensation, they dodge, delay, or lowball you. And most New Yorkers don't realize you can absolutely get paid, sometimes 5 or 6 figures, if you know which documents to show and what not to say. I'm Brett Harrison. I've represented injury clients across New York for over 3 decades, and the biggest wins usually come from simple moves made right after the crash. This video walks you through those exact steps so you can avoid the traps, get the full payout you're owed, and don't leave money behind just because the system is confusing. Number 1, get medical treatment immediately and keep getting it. One of the easiest ways to get paid big after a car accident in New York is also one of the most overlooked. Get medical treatment right away and keep going. I know how tempting it is to skip the ER, especially if you think your injuries aren't serious. Maybe you're hoping the pain goes away, or you're worried about medical bills. But in New York, the value of your claim is directly tied to your medical record. No treatment, no proof, and if there's no proof, there's no payout. Under New York's no-fault insurance law, you just have 30 days to file your no-fault application with the insurance of the vehicle you occupied at the time of the accident. That's your ticket to having your initial medical bills and lost wages covered. But here's what a lot of people miss. Getting treatment quickly isn't just about coverage. It's about building a solid, documented timeline of your injuries. Let me give you an example. In the case of Pommels v. Perez, 4 NY 3D 566, 2005, the New York Court of Appeals emphasized that a plaintiff's failure to explain gaps in treatment weaken their case. In other words, if you disappear from your doctor for 3 months and then come back, a jury might assume you were fine, or that something else happened in between. That kind of gap gives the insurance company room to argue your injuries aren't related to the crash. So, if you want to get paid, and I mean paid fairly, treat your recovery seriously. Follow up with specialists. Go to physical therapy. Keep records. The more consistent your treatment is, the stronger your claim will be. Number 2, prove serious injury under New York law. Here's something most people don't know until it's too late. In New York, you can't just sue over any injury. You have to meet the legal threshold of what's called a serious injury under insurance law, section 5102D. That law lists specific categories, things like death, dismemberment, significant disfigurement, loss of a fetus, or a medically determined injury that limits you from performing your usual activities for at least 90 of the first 180 days after the accident. If your injury doesn't fit into one of those categories, or if you can't prove it does, you could lose your case before it even starts. Let's say you've got a herniated disc in your back after a rear-end collision. Painful? Yes. Debilitating? Maybe. But unless your doctors provide objective medical evidence, like MRIs or range of motion testing, and clearly connect your injuries to the accident, the court might throw your case out. That's exactly what happened in the case Licari v. Elliott, 57 New York 2nd, 230, 1982. In that case, the Court of Appeals held that the plaintiff failed to meet the serious injury threshold, and the lawsuit was dismissed. That's why we always work closely with medical providers who understand how to document injuries in a way that satisfies the law, not just to help you heal, but to support your right to full compensation. Number 3, don't accept the first offer. Know what your case is worth. The fastest way to leave money on the table after a New York car accident is to accept the insurance company's first offer. I get it. They call you within days of the crash. They sound friendly, and maybe you're stressed out about bills. But understand this, their goal is to close the case for as little as possible. They're not evaluating what you've lost. They're protecting their bottom line. I've seen initial offers come in at 5 or 10 cents on the dollar compared to what a claim is actually and really worth. One client was offered $15,000 for a back injury. With the right medical documentation, legal argument, and negotiation strategy, we settled that case for $140,000. That's not luck. That's the result of knowing what a claim is truly worth. So how do you know the value of your case? It comes down to a few core factors. the extent of your injuries, the length and cost of your medical treatment, your lost wages, and how the injuries have impacted your daily life. In New York, we also consider pain and suffering, the emotional and physical toll of your injuries. That value can be significant, but only if you've documented it properly and know how to present it. This is where having the right team in your corner can make or break your financial recovery. You need someone who knows how to calculate both the economic and non-economic damages and who's not afraid to push back against lowball offers. Number 4, build a case from day one. Don't wait until things fall apart. One of the smartest things you can do to get paid big after a car accident is to treat your case seriously from day one. That means gathering evidence immediately, getting witness statements, if possible, taking photos of the scene, saving medical bills, and keeping a journal of how your injuries affect your daily life. A lot of people don't think they have a case until the insurance company stops answering their calls. But by then, valuable evidence may be gone. Skid marks fade, surveillance footage gets erased, witnesses move or forget details. That's why we encourage people to treat every accident like it might end up in court, even if it doesn't. We had a case where a client took a picture of a broken traffic light after their crash. The insurance company claimed our client ran a red light. That one photo showing the malfunction completely changed the course of the case and led to a high six-figure settlement. That's the power of being proactive. Also, if you wait too long to take legal action, you risk running into the statute of limitations. In New York, you generally have 3 years to file a personal injury lawsuit under CPLR Section 214. But don't mistake 3 years as an excuse to wait. The sooner you act, the more leverage you have. 5, get the right attorney involved early. If you want to maximize your compensation, you need someone who does this every day, who knows the legal system, the insurance company tactics, and how to frame your story in a way that gets real results. Not all lawyers do that. Some firms take on a case and settle it fast, just to move it off their desk. That's not our approach. We believe that every client deserves a strategy, not just a settlement. That means we take the time to understand your injuries, bring in the right experts when necessary, and negotiate from a position of strength. We've handled cases where liability was unclear, injuries were questioned, or prior accidents were used to try and discredit a client. But by doing the work early, getting statements, preserving evidence, coordinating with treating doctors, we've turned those cases around. You don't need to be a legal expert to win your case. You just need the right person guiding you through it. We've just covered the easiest ways to get paid big after a car accident in New York. Start medical treatment right away and don't stop. Prove your injury meets New York's legal threshold. Don't jump at the first offer. Know what your case is really worth. Build your case from day one. And most importantly, get the right attorney involved early to protect your rights and your future. But here's the thing, even with all of that, your biggest challenge might still be ahead. What do you do when the insurance company makes you a lowball offer? And they will. It happens all the time. The first offer is rarely, if ever, fair. So in the next video, I'm going to break down how to answer the insurance company's lowball offer in New York. We'll walk you through what to say, what not to say, and how to use the law to push back without giving up your leverage. If you've already gotten an offer or expect one, this is essential. You need to hear it before you make a decision. That could cost you thousands. Well, thanks for spending this time with me. See you over there.